Yeah, I heard somebody speaking. Okay, I'll keep going now because we have jam-packed agenda and only 45 minutes to go. So today's our session is mainly about project manager's guide to data-driven decision making. What we are going to talk about, if I go to next, I think it is slow in changing here. Okay, so a little bit about myself. I'm a senior director for North America Stridley Solution and founder of Insight to Action, mainly working in analytics area. This is not the topic of our presentation. I'm going to move forward. Uh, Our session objective today is what we want to do is understand the need for storytelling. So how do you present your data? As a project manager, we have ton of data that is either in Microsoft Project or some other project management tool. But our purpose is to how you can show your data effectively so that when it is time when you are in a presentation, you can explain much more better way. Instead of just showing the rows, you can show the graphs, or you can make a decision based on some of the trend lines that is in your project side. Also, we are going to understand about advanced option of visualization. So how do you present your data? What is the best practices? And learn importance about the data-driven decision making. I'll be starting with the concept of visualization, and then we'll dig deeper into how you can visualize your project management data. So if I start from what is data storytelling is, we have a ton of data, like nowadays from your phone, whether it is from your phone or whether it is from your OneDrive or company text file, Excel file. There is a lot of data pulling into when we are managing the project. There are lots of project documentation. It is coming at the speed a lot more faster than what it used to come 5 years back. And also there is a variety of data. So it could be in the cloud, it could be in Excel, text file, maybe XML file, JSON, and many different ways it is coming. So how do you coordinate all those activity in when it comes to project management? And as you can see, we have ton of data nowadays. IoT, your phone is creating so many data. How do you manage? And if we go a little bit deeper into, we have a data where we have it is coming from so many different places, but what are the question you're trying to answer from your data is most of the time in your project, what happened? So based on my actual completion, what is remaining? What already happened? How much I already achieved in this project? What did why did it happen? So if my budget, my actual is going over the budget, why did it happen? Those type of question we are asking. What will happen? So now I have a budget remaining, what is going to happen and what should it happen? So I don't want to go over the budget, so what should I do? And from there, from your data, you get the insight that helps you make a data-driven decision making. So if I go a little bit very high level, we have a data, now we have insight from different analytical tools that is available within organization. I won't pick one, but there are so many tools available. Now I have insight, hey, in next, if I don't control this project, maybe it will go beyond my completion date, or maybe my budget actual will cross the budget. So I have that type of insight, but what modern BI is what action I can take. So nowadays, with the data-driven decision making, you not only get the insight, but you also get a suggestion for action. Hey, this is what I should do if I don't want to cross my budget, or this is what I should do to balance my resources. So there are so many actions you can take from your insight. Now, when you are designing some of the reports and dashboards, what are the main critical thing you should be looking for when you are designing reports? So what I say is not only your report is critical, but how you report, that is very critical. So the preparation for report, so when you create a nice chart like a line chart and you put a lot of contrasting color to show your data, that's only the 20% of the work. Your when you start doing it, there are lots of data modeling you have to do. So you may have resource table, you may have your task table. How do you merge there? How do you model that data? That's where a lot of work is required. But the main work is required in how do you prepare your data? How do you clean your data? How do you model your data? That's where 80% of the work is required. Our today's topic is not more towards 80%, but it is on how to show your data. So if I go very quickly, there are four ways you can show your data, either in a report or maybe KPI type of thing, or create a dashboard or infographics. And I'll explain very easily some of the very quickly some of the detail about it. So if you have report, there are more tags than table. Then comes the chart. Charts are less. In report, you have more descriptive areas that you want to concentrate. When you have a gauges, you are more focused on indicator, whether I am okay with the budget or not going into detail, but just showing the comparison between two different variables. When you are going for a dashboard, you are more focused on the chart. uh, why I'm explaining this will be clear very soon when I go to the next label. And then comes the infographic. Infographic is where less word, less visual, but more of infographics. So if I am running a pen company, I want to show everything based on pen. So my graphs will be pen, my indicators will be pen. That is where you focus on what area. Infographics is more towards what product you are trying to show. So let's go, who likes what type of report? If it is CEO, leader, analyst, client, based on that, we have certain criteria that what type of report they like. So when you are focusing on not only the report, but also at the same time on audience, what type of audience you have, that is very critical. Also very critical is what type of chart you are selecting to show your data. If you look at this particular chart, when you look at this circle chart, I don't get any idea about what it is trying to tell me, because it's just bunch of pie chart. It is dissected into circle, but it doesn't tell me what this is. It doesn't tell me what this is. It's just a graph. You cannot interpret anything. Similar way here also, I have similar indicators. So when you are showing your data, you have to show effectively, less of cosmetic, more of information. So I'll be sharing this slide with you, but I have some suggestion that this chart can give. So if you are comparison you are doing, then you can go amongst the item or over time, which chart are suitable for what type of analysis. Also, there are common factors that I want to highlight here is there are common mistake people make is, and you will see that in many of the newspaper and all, they try to mislead the audience by saying that here when we see its start axis is at 0, here when I see it is at 0 and I can compare apples to apple. But if you see here, Q3 looks very bad compared to Q4, whereas it is actually not, because here it is starting at 0 and here it is starting at 60K. So we have to be honest to our audience in terms of what type of data we are showing. Also, trying to have a reference line is very critical. So if you have a project where budgeted line is there, if you show here, anytime it goes over budget, then we know. So trying to add a reference line is always good idea. And sorting in a proper order. If I want to compare 5 different projects against a timeline, then if I sort it, I can interpret very well. If you see this graph, I cannot tell which one is on target or which one is not, because it is all distributed unevenly. Here, I can right away tell that this project has gone a lot more above my reference line. Similar way here, when I have too many variables here, I can use a bar chart instead of column chart. I'm going to skip a few of them so that we can focus on, because this will be available in my slide and it is self-explanatory. I want to main focus on the topic of visualization and project management. So I have some examples here how to create an effective chart. When you are talking about table or when you are talking about pie chart. So you can go through that and also slicer side. Some of the good example of report when you are trying to show that I'm going to show it now, that if I have sales overview, what I'm trying to show, if you look at here, it is very clear. The chart wise, I'm minimizing here, I'm showing the KPI at the top. So there are some good examples I have here. This is something which I was talking about infographics, where there are more of the infographics, more pictures than the chart. Also, when you're showing it to managerial level, it is good idea to show KPI, but at the same time, the trend line, you can show it. So we will see example of that in our project management dashboard. Something similar I want to show when you are creating for executive, they are not interested in that much in a graph, but they're interested, are we on target or not? So you can show by color, here the two target are off. So right away, they can get an idea that, hey, particular project, I need to work on it. I need to control that. And few more examples here that can give you idea that how effective the visualization can be. Right now, if you're dealing with only the lines where tasks are there, deadlines are there, but what if I get I have 10 different tasks, which deadline is tomorrow, and I'm not achieving that. If I get that 10 task, it is more effective to manage the project than I'm seeing 100 lines. So something when you are talking about data-driven decision making, it's always to narrow down what you need to do now or how you need to do now. Something here, there is another example, so I'm going to skip through. Now I'm going to, I will come back to the tool I'm going to use today is a Power BI, but I'm going to come back here if we have enough time. So I'm going to stop here and actually show you the demo about it. So let me just click through it. Okay, so let me close this. And I really want to start now on project management side. So you may be using something like this. So you may be using Microsoft Project, or there are many other tools available. But for this demo purpose, I'm using Microsoft Project. So you may have a work breakdown structure, and you are assigning time to it. When I'm looking at here, there are many reports within Microsoft Project that can help you. But if you want to be effective, you want to show that in graphical manner. So for this demo purpose, what I did was I had one project, I remove other lines, and I just copied from here and put it in a Excel so that I can do reporting on top of that. So this is exactly same thing. I have it in Excel. Now, next step I wanted to do is I wanted to create some visualization in this. I want to report. I want to make my decision based on data. So for this demo purpose, I'm using Power BI, but you can use a tool of your choice. My purpose here is to show how data can make it easier for you to make a decision. So in this Power BI, there is an option to connect, import data from Excel. That's exactly what I did it here. I imported data from Excel, and I'm going to close Excel. Otherwise, I won't be able to do that because it gives an error. So refresh the data. But what this tool gives you is from your data, it gives you option to modify data and project. So if I give you example, my original data is this data. I have a duration, which is 6 days, and I have date, which is combined with the name of the day. I also have a few areas where I have hours. If I'm doing reporting, those type of text doesn't help us. So this Power BI tool, which is absolutely free, and I'll have a link in my presentation, you can go and download and start using. There is a $0 cost to download this tool and use for your personal use. So what I did was I just changed some types here and I started replacing same way how you do in Excel. I started replacing. So if you go here in the duration tab, I had a days. So I started replacing. As you see, I move around tab, I'm placing. So from here where I had days, now I change it to numbers so that I can do analysis on top of that. Here I have a day and date which is combined. So I started splitting. I want to separate the day and date. Same way I did it in finish line here. And then what I did was my remaining working days. So if I go here, I had hours. To do my analysis, I need 64, not hours. So I replaced those. And finally, I got the data which I wanted. Once it is done, I can upload that. So I can start. If I go here field, I get that final version of my data. Now you will see that you may think that I did some magic over there. It's very easy. It is like Excel like. Only thing is you need to put little bit effort and you will be able to do on yourself. And this is 100% free. So there is no dollar amount you need to pay. You can right away go and download that. But once I have this table, so I'm going to create another page here. And once I have this table, it is so easy. Say I want to, if I go here, I have a resource name here. I want to create a slicer where I can click on Kunal and my entire data set will be filtered by that. I want to filter on Sam and I know how many tasks Sam has it and what is remaining work, what is the percentage complete work. And maybe this is my name and I have two tasks. One is 100% complete, another one is 10%. So this is when I am trying to arrange resources, it is very helpful to slice and dice the data and also see entire picture. Here it shows how much work is required and what is remaining. So I can know right away by date what is my progress. So if I go here or here, I have 32 hours that is allocated to November 12th, but only 22 is remaining. So I need to work on it. Whereas when I come here, it is less uh, work. So I can arrange my resource based on requirement. And also I can see here remaining work by resource. So if you see blank, it is lot. But if I go here, it will show that there are 14 hours of work remaining for Doreen and Kunal has 11.2. So it makes my decision very easy when I see data in this format. How do I create that? Very easy. Once I have data prepared, I can start with the resource name, and I put just right click on that, or you can drag and drop here and it will create a visual for you. But my purpose here is not to show you how to create a visual. I want to show you how easy it is. So I pull that and I can put a filter, and now I can use that filter. So I'm just, for time purpose, I'm just going to copy this table. I don't want to recreate, but if you want to recreate it, is just easy to select the table here and just start adding the field you want. But as you can see here, as I click, my data is filtered by resources. If I want to create a pie chart, I can click here, click in a visualization. I want to know what is the remaining work, just drop it there. I want to do it by not task name. I want to do it by resource. So resource name. As I drop here, because I have Kunal filter, it is showing me there, but I have this data. Now I have flexibility to click on a SAM name. Even when I click here, it is filtering data. So I can very quickly see, not using this slicer, but I can see it. It is interactive here. So I can see it by just clicking on the visual. So let us go back here. What else it can do? So I want to see level one task. I can very quickly see level one task, or I can also filter by start date. So I want to just see maybe only up to 7/11. Then I can filter data. So I want to focus on particular date. I can do that as well. So once this is done, you can also create a mobile view. And why I am talking about mobile view here is because nowadays we do everything mobile. There are a lot of application within organization that are created, which is done via mobile. You don't need to open a computer. You want when you are on the road, you want to know my project update right away. So if this is connected to your project online or some online tool, you don't need to refresh also. Your data will refresh automatically. And what it will give you is, hey, I am in Montreal. My office is in Toronto. I'm in Montreal, and somebody asked me, hey, what is the state of a project? You can right away open your mobile and check it out. So when you publish it to, and I'm going to bring this, my mobile view here so that we can see, but if I want to check my mobile view, I can click here and I can create a mobile friendly view as well. The view you were looking at before was good for the computer where you have large screen. But if I want to do in a mobile, I need a different way of doing it. So as you can see here, I created mobile view from the same one. So I can filter on Nick, and my data will update based on Nick. Let me click on Sam and I get detail about Sam and the trend line as well. So when you design, when you create a data-driven culture and manage project via some tool like this, similar tool, other companies also have it, then you have all the information you need, more effective AI-driven information on your fingertip via mobile as well as the computer. So let us see the uh, actual dashboard that is from project manage actual project uh, from system. So here I have I'm going to, this is my project that I was just showing it to you. But what if I have a 15 different project or 50 project? You never know. In a company there are multiple projects you are managing, and I want to see complete picture of that. So in order to do that, You can connect to your online or on premises project server and do analysis that gives you complete holistic picture 360-degree view of your data. So when this is my portfolio dashboard where I'm tracking total 59 project, what is the project cost overall? So this is a summary I want to see as a manager. I want to see how many projects I have and are we on track? What is the cost variance? So this gives you overall picture about your project, how many risks are there right now in project, how many issues, uh, project work, and the detail about your each and every project. So this is all the project I have. But what if I'm a project manager for particular area, so particular department, then I have a filter assigned here. Say I'm in IT and I want to focus on only projects that are related to IT. I can design in such a way that I only see, and now you see it changed to 35 from previous one, and I'm seeing my 34 project overview I'm seeing right now. But if I'm in new product development, all I have to do is click here and I see my view of 15 project. And it doesn't stop there. From that 15 project, what type of project are there? Is it a program or say new product development? There are 14, but I have one that is program, and I can see, I can very quickly filter the data. I can curate the information that I need. If my project manager asks, hey, can you give me about that? I don't need to open anything. I can right away tell, hey, I have this project cost is $98,000, and so far, uh, so project work is 1550 total work hours. I don't have risk or anything. I can tell right away. This is what is data-driven decision making. Whether I'm in anywhere in the world, I can tell within second that what is the status of my project. Also, there are certain uh, different report we have created here. This is overall project view, but I want to see the portfolio timeline. I have a different report here. I have timeline, but I want to see, say, only certain time range I want to see. I can very quickly filter and I can see, okay, how much project is work is completed, and who is responsible for that. So right away I can tackle if there are any delays in the project. What about the cost? I can very quickly check here saying all my project here, and you will see here some picture that are not appearing because it is removed from the drive, but the main purpose is just to show how what is possible. So my total project cost here is $18 million, and my target is to finish within 10 million. So far I have spent baseline cost is 10, but the actual cost is 3 point this. But if I am responsible for a particular department, then I want to know only cost related to my department. So as soon as you select, see here, 5 million is my baseline and my actual is different. So I can tell right away what is my cost variance, remaining cost, what was the estimated cost, and by the project. So, but what if I don't want to do by project? I can go to the next hierarchy and I can roll it up by different cost type. So you have many options that are available in when you use your data effectively and design to curate for the audience you want to show data and take actions. When you are presenting same data at executive level, it's not good idea. They don't like this detailed table and all. All they want is the top level. Are we on target? Yes, no. Please please work on it if it is going. So I'm going to reset my filter so I can see everything. And they are more interested in high level data. So you have to think about what is your audience also. I'm going to skip through here because we are reaching towards the end of the presentation and I want to leave some time for the question and answer, but I want to show you very quickly some of the option in project management. You can use this type of reporting to help you achieve your goal more effectively. So this is about the risk. If you want to know what type of cost exposure is it is going on higher side, you can check that. What are the portfolio issues? So you can list down, again, same type of filter is at the top. So you can even filter your data based on your work area. So project owner, say, I am project owner, I can very quickly click here and I want to just select one person. This is my view. I have all the project management. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in my stuff. So I select, and this is what I get. I get my focus view. Well, I want to take this to further and take action. I can click here and export the data in Excel so I can work offline and tackle those issues. So there are multiple options available in here. And overview of the resources. So how much resources is used, assignment, there are a ton of options here, what you can do. In here, let me select different person so you can see graph. This is not, because they don't have enough data. But here I can see my resource detail, everything, how many assignment I have, how many project I have, work, actual work, and everything I can very quickly check. And different project status. Now, I reach up to this point, but what if I'm going for presentation and I want to take this with me? What I can do is I can very quickly export this to PDF or PowerPoint. So I'm just going to do that. That's how easy it is. Once I prepare a report and I want to take it for presentation, you can take your phone as well or computer and show it interactive one. But what if you want to send it as a uh, before meeting, you want to send them a PowerPoint presentation that can give them something to have during meeting and ask question or prepare for meeting. So you are exporting that. I'll leave this here. It may take a little bit time, so I'm going to leave it here. And that's the end of my presentation. I would invite if there is any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer because we have 10 minutes left and I want to leave some time for question and answer. Hello. Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I do have a question. Do you ever, as you present your data to management or other parties, do you ever have the problem where they just don't interpret it properly or they just aren't even looking at it long enough to understand it? And how do you go about that challenge?
That's correct. Most of the time, when you are designing data, so you need to know your audience. If you are presenting something like this to CEO, they will definitely get confused because their level of understanding is different. They want to know at a higher level, aggregated information. If you are preparing something for project manager, you need to give them this information because that's what takes action. If I'm late here, if I have issues, I want to tackle that. So it is also a process where you want to help your user by giving their proper, clear instruction on the dashboard itself. So when they are going to the dashboard or report, say issue by category, it is very clear that my category and issues are there. If there is also most of the organization when they are going for data driven digital decision making, when they are adopting this technology, they also have a seminar that is highly recommended for every users to go through or at least have a training online created which they go through, so you don't have to answer those type of questions. And most of the tools that are available, once you prepare the training module, I don't have any issue at all. And also we have a weekly webinar that normally in organization we do, so we can educate the users on regular basis. Instead of helping individual user, we create a training program. But yes, there are questions asked, and every time you have a question, you have to think about something you did wrong. Because wrong, I mean to say in a positive sense, it is opportunity for you to improve, right? So you have to make as clear as possible for users to use your report. And as I told you, I exported this project, so I'm going to open it so I can actually show you how cool it is. So based on our report, my PowerPoint presentation is ready. So in this, I didn't filter anything, but it gives the overview and it creates the slide for you. So everything is ready for all the report that we had. It is ready for you to share with your company.
Hi,
Okay,
Vivek. I
go
just
ahead.
want to interrupt here. You've got 5 minutes left.
Yeah. So I'm still open to questions. I like to answer.
Hi, Vivek. It's Sean here. Excellent presentation. Thank you very much. I found it quite useful. To follow up on Marcia's question, oftentimes, what we're trying to do is provide the data for a senior executive to make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
So oftentimes I find making recommendations is sometimes helpful to them and kind of channel their thoughts or opinions of things towards a certain direction. Do you have any way to model the data towards like an outlook? For example, if you make decision A, this is what the future outlook would look like, or model B or C. Do you have any tool that would provide some sort of future modeling using the existing data?
You mean to say can you be a little bit clear so that I can?
I mean, if an executive is to make a decision in the middle of the project based on, the health of the project, whether you're going over budget or require a change in scope, so
Mm-hmm.
you can present the risks, but, if they're ultimately making a decision to go ahead with it based on, rate of return or market share, or just to not do the project at all, is there any way to provide like a forecast of what things could look like based on the decision they make?
Yeah, so what if analysis type of analysis is
That's right.
possible. So if they suggest that, okay, we have to change uh, budget from here, from X to Y, what will be the impact overall if you want to show? Then there is a what if analysis possible in almost every tool, where you can show, okay, with current, this is what it looks like, and with the future, this is what impact will be. So within this tool, yes, what if analysis is possible. And feedback channel is also very open with the most of the tool, where I can So thank you, everybody. I think presentation is ended, and good luck with the rest of the session. Thank you so much for attending my session.